Good morning, everyone. It's March 17th, 2016. This is the monthly meeting for the Post Falls Urban Renewal Commission. Director Lean, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Chairman Baltzell.
Here.
Commissioners Carstensen.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
Rehrman.
Here.
Coles. I have not heard from Commissioner Coles. Malzahn.
Here.
And I got an email from Ms. Davis, and she is has an excused absence. She's sick.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And Commissioner Carstensen, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And again, welcome, everyone. Are there any ceremonies, appointments, or announcements that need to be made at this time? Don't believe that there are. So any conflicts to disclose from the commission members on anything that is on the agenda this morning? Okay. Seeing none, pardon? No. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Director Lean.
Yes, good morning, Chairman Baltzell and Commissioners. Item A in the consent calendar this morning is the commission meeting minutes from February 18th. Item B is the District Review Committee minutes from March 8th. Item C is the Commission Workshop minutes from March 9th. And item D is payables for the month totaling $84,534. And the payables include three large items, I just point out. And please note for the record that Commissioner Coles is here. Item D is payables. They include $21,607 for legal fees for Holland and Hart on Greens Ferry, $28,704 for Cameron Riley on the Spokane Street project, $15,000 for the Metz Group report. And for the record, we will be processing a draw on the Washington Trust loan in the amount of $21,607 and a draw on the Community First loan in the amount of $28,704.09 for those amounts. Item E is the bank activity report, which shows total funds in all accounts of $3,142,175.05 and accrued interest for the month of $889.28. Item F is the financial reports as of February 29th, 2016, and these are printed from our in-house QuickBooks system, and they will be posted to our website. Item G is the resolution number 2016-01, authorizing the amendment to the Washington Trust Bank note purchase and security agreement. Item H is the second amendment to the note purchase and security agreement. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize the transfer of $889.28 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the INB checking account of $84,534 for general payables. Mr. Chairman, I would answer any questions, and a roll call vote would be in order for a motion to accept.
Okay. Since we discussed the resolution on the amendment to the Washington Trust Bank note and the amendment to the note purchase agreement previously at the workshop, do
Yes.
we need to review those in any detail at this time?
I would respond to any questions, but I don't feel that that's necessary at this point. We do have further discussion that I'm looking forward to at our next workshop.
Okay, very good. Any other questions on the consent calendar?
Just to get it on the on the record, the $4,334 on the payables to Kruger Sheet Metal. It's my understanding from our workshop that that's going to be or has been reimbursed from the insurance company of the person that caused that damage.
Very good question, Commissioner. Thank you for that. I skipped over that. I was going to comment. That one item on the payables for a little over $4,000 was a result of we did make a payment to Kruger Sheet Metal for the repair of the metal work on the nose of the planter right out at the intersection of Spokane Street and the freeway on-ramp. That was a damage from a car accident, and we filed a claim against the driver's insurance company, Mutual of Omaha. We received that $4,300, and so this payment was to the metal company for the work.
Thank you.
And we were reimbursed for that.
Thank you for,
Thank you for asking.
any other questions? Yep.
Just one, so, the first one up there for Spokane Street, is that the final, or is that for seal coating or chip seal, or what was this one for? It seems a little, I don't know, late in the game.
The 28,000.
28, yeah, 704.
That was one of the last invoices from Cameron Riley for part of the construction work on the project. I think this had to do with some of the cost of the pedestrian, the electronic pedestrian signal out there at the, where the rail crossing is. That was a late invoice that came in. But that was, I've got a little bit more to finalize a report on Spokane Street.
Okay, then one other one on that 21,607, is that the final?
No,
No, I didn't think so.
because we are in the process of filing, the attorneys are filing with the court to get the judgment signed and the final condemnation document signed and processed through the court. That takes a little bit of time from them, so we will see a very, I can't say very small because,
Yeah.
you know, the source, but we will see another small invoice that should be the final on that.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Okay, very good. Then I'd accept a motion to approve the consent calendar as submitted.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to insert a caveat into the approval of the Second Amendment to the Washington Trust Bank note purchase, that we, as those CDs securing the reserve account mature, that we negotiate with Washington Trust to replace those with CDs at a then current market level.
Are you just
I'm
asking a question?
I'm not
to
amending
make-
it, I'm just simply saying I'd like to see
I think we all saw that in
the
the email.
direction. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, roll call vote, please.
Baltzell,
Aye.
Carstensen,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
Rehrman,
Aye.
and Malzahn,
Aye.
and Coles.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Now for committee updates, Finance and Policy, Commissioner Crosby.
We've reviewed the February financial statements and had one question that Diane resolved for me, and then we've given her a memo approving those.
Okay, thank you. District Review, Commissioner Coles.
We recently met here a week or so ago, went over the districts with looking specifically at the remainders in terms of what's in the time frame, what's left of the possible increment, and then we scheduled a meeting first part of April with Bill, Melvin, and Shelley to go over potential for city project, infrastructure projects within each of those districts.
Within the existing district you're speaking?
Yes, existing districts.
Okay. Very good. Communications?
Question for Commissioner
Sure.
Coles. Would those be within the context of the approved plan, or would they be somehow an amendment to the plan? If they're not in the plan, I'm not sure how we
Right.
can entertain
Right.
further infrastructure
It'd be looking at those that would fit within the plan.
that were in the plan originally.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, Communications, Property, and Personnel, Commissioner
Just-
Carstensen.
Just to find out, after the water damage, has everything been rectified with the communications, computer stuff, as well as the leaks?
Yes, sir. We've got, we're back pretty much fully operating now with the computers and data, our access and the printer, copier machine. We had to spend a little bit of money to get there, but we're there.
Other than that, nothing.
Okay, very good. And this is a point in our meeting when we entertain any citizen comments, a section reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Anyone out there like to have a little talk with us? Okay, I don't see any right at the moment, so let's move on to unfinished business on the Spokane Street Reconstruction closing report. And I see Matt is here.
Yes, Chairman, if I may, we did receive, and I provided a copy back to the commissioners in the packet, the letters from Welch Comer Engineering on Spokane Street. This is the statement of substantial completion. We have a letter from them on 3 different items, one being the overall project, one being the lighting, the light work out there, and one being the chip seal and the pavement. We also received the final project punch list showing all the items checked off and initialed as complete. And now we will go to the city and ask for a letter of acceptance from them on the whole project. And then once we get that, their acceptance of the project, substantial completion, then we should be able to conclude our involvement on that project. I did ask Matt Gillis from Welch Comer Engineering. He was the project engineer. I asked him to come in and make brief comment on the project and respond to any of the commission questions.
Okay, thank you. Morning, Matt. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Matt Gillis, 350 East Kathleen. And before I forget, the reason Tom mentioned there are 3 separate substantial completion letters is that's simply a notification to the contractor that your warranty period, we accept what you've done, and your warranty period starts now. We were not comfortable issuing the lighting substantial completion along with the rest of the stuff because we had the issues with the lighting. So we didn't issue that until it was working. So that's why we do it that way, to protect the owner of the infrastructure.
Good, thank you.
So yeah, the Spokane Street's winding down. I'm here to primarily answer questions, but just give you a quick 1-minute synopsis of where we're at right now. If those of you who were part of the project at the beginning, you probably remember we started with a concept plan back in 2012 with Veritas's help on that, and the URA and the council accepted that plan. We moved forward with phase 1 to construct the traffic signal at 4th and Spokane Street in 2013. Then in 2014 and 15, all the roadway improvements were constructed. In fact, just finishing in the fall of last year. And still, there's just a few little punch list items, as Tom mentioned. Very little things. But those should pretty much be cleared up by now, actually. I'm getting that and Spencer Street mixed up, actually. The original budget was about $1.95 million. Once we went through the project, we had several change orders in the form of reductions to the project and additions to the project. I think we ended up, and Tom's numbers might be a little better than mine right now, about $48,000 under budget from the original contract value with the contractor. When we take out some of those reductions, like the pocket park that we ended up taking out, and then taking out the side street change order stuff that the commission voluntarily added, the change order implication to the project was only about 1%, which is pretty good. I think given a downtown revitalization type project where there's all kinds of unknowns, 1% in change orders we're very happy with that. I think there's a few little closeout items that Tom and the city and I are working through, but I think we're almost there. You know, there were a lot of memorable issues, a lot of lessons learned on the project, as with any, as I mentioned, downtown urban type project, where it's kind of like remodeling your kitchen, where you pull the cabinets back and, oh, now there's mold, now I got to deal with that. Well, now I pull that away and, oh, now there's this, I got to deal with this. So just a lot of close collaboration between the city, the URA, the contractor, and ourselves, and it was a fun project. That said, I'm proud of it, and you know, very hopeful that it does what we all hope it was designed to do, which is to create some attention down here and give us a downtown. So I appreciate being part of the project, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody have specific questions for them? If not, I just want to thank you and your firm for the great work you've done in communicating and watching out for the project for us. And I think it's been a good project, and I think for the most part the citizens of this community are very pleased with it. So
Good.
thank you. Shelley, do you have any comments you'd like to make on Spokane Street project? Kind of put you on the spot there, but.
All I've heard is positive comments about Spokane Street in regards to citizens. They love it. They think it's beautiful. We have a brewery, which should be opening soon, that is located down at First and Spokane Street. And Rogers Burger still has a option on the property across the street here from City Hall until April 1st. I haven't heard anything recently on that. I don't know if Tom has or not, but I think it's brought about some activity that before we did not have. So I think it's been a very positive, good project, and Tom and Bill Melvin have worked really closely together on the lights and with Matt also. Matt's been extremely helpful in making sure that everything has gotten taken care of. So it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Glenn.
Shelley, one question. Once the city accepts the improvements, the parks and rec folks take over the maintenance of the median and the street
Yes.
level of landscaping? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And there will be some changes. Some of the grasses have blocked vision, and we've talked to Tom about that. And we'll be moving some of those plants around this summer to try to make sure that the vision triangle is not blocked when people are pulling out of the businesses along the west side of Spokane Street.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very good. Thanks, Shelley. Okay. We have a new business item down there. Is there any new business to bring before the group?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Staff report and updates, please.
Yes, thank you. I would add to Shelley's comment that on the Spokane Street project, it was a lot of fun. It had a few little challenges with irrigation in the light poles for the hanging baskets, some leakage there, and trying to find out, go through the process of trying to narrow that down, a little bit of lighting issues, but it was fun because, you deal with all these different issues and challenges, and working with Bill Melvin at the city was great, very supportive. Matt was very supportive from the engineering standpoint. Overall, it was a very good project. On the Greens Ferry Overpass project, changing course a little bit, we have a minimal amount of remaining work to be done on the overpass, and we're going to have a project team meeting on a Tuesday coming up, where we will sit down here in the basement downstairs and go over everything that's current that needs to be addressed. And then we'll go out on the street and spend a couple of hours doing a detailed project walkthrough to identify the specific things that still need to be done. Everybody knows, just visibly drive through there, you can see some things. Well, why isn't that done, and why isn't that done? We understand that there are some things that are not done because of weather. You can't go out and do some of that stuff until the weather permits. But we are going to have a meeting coming up, project team meeting. We'll have the meeting downstairs, discuss things, and then we'll go out on the street. And we have a contract final completion date of May 16th on that project. So we're getting to a point where it has to be done. All these things will have to be done by that date. On Spencer Street, as you recall, the funding for the overpass and Spencer Street were all in one loan facility with Washington Trust. So those are linked because both those projects are in the East Post Falls district. On Spencer Street, happy to say that, we've been fussing for the last 2 months with the railroad. When are they going to get out here and build the crossing at Spencer Street? Excuse me, so that we can open that road. They were out there Monday. I sent pictures out, and they were actually starting construction. I went out there yesterday at noon, took some more pictures. The planking was in place, the rail was in place. All that we need now is for Cameron Riley to come in, not Cameron Riley, Riviere, to come in and do a saw cut on the asphalt and then do the apron from there up to the rail on that planking. At that point, when it gets all done, The lights are all in place, signalization on CLTs. We can turn those on, activate the lighting there, and open the roadway for traffic. Matt Gillis and Welch Comer was the engineering of record on that project. So we're going to have, on Spencer Street, we're also going to have a project team meeting Friday morning, tomorrow morning, and they'll provide a schedule that gets us to the end of the project. And to be completed on that is a little bit of work around the railroad, pavement markings, turning on the traffic signal, and then a variety of some small punch list items. So we're close to the end on that project, Greens Ferry project, Spokane Street project. So in our district review meeting that's coming up, we need to come up with some more projects. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions from the staff report? Okay, commissioner comments. This is your opportunity to ask or tell or whatever. And no comments from anybody? Okay, and chairman comments, I guess that's me. I was going to say almost the same thing Tom did, and that is that in 2016 we're going to be finally closing 4 major projects here in Post Falls that are improving and for the betterment of the community. And I think that's pretty exciting because we've been working on most of them for quite a long time. And Greens Ferry, Spokane Street, Spencer Street, and the Highway 41 Trail project. And I think that's a real wonderful thing that the commission staff, the city, and all the partners we have, the engineering folks, everybody that's participated to make these things come together and to a successful conclusion. And I'm very proud to be a part of this group that's doing that, and I think you should as well. And I think the community is appreciative of the work, and I know the city is, and we appreciate the work that they do too. So I don't have any other comments than that, other than thanking you all for your work, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.
At 22.